let us go take care of the lake, shall we? Oh, I have to be near the crystal. Every time. Every time it has me pointing down. Whether I'm in the air or whether I'm swimming. Drives me nuts. I can't tell you how many times where I've, gotten on a flying mount or gone into water and I'm just immediately doing this. And I'm like, why am I pointing down like that? It drives me insane. As the neutralizing agent mixes into the waters of the lake, the water that was irradiated by the crystal seems to clear. Hey, Tolan, what's going on?
Kronakai Christor.
Help! Blood Elves! They ambushed me. Don't have long. You must eliminate the Blood Elf threat. Find out what they are up to. They're on the ridge behind me.
Dionys Aka.
So, just to clarify, these are not the Blood Elves from Silvermoon. These are the Blood Elves that are following Kael'thas and the Burning Legion in Outland. I just want to make that clear, because these are not the Blood Elves that we were just playing in the starter zone that are in Silvermoon, Quel'Thalas, and the Ghostlands. These are strictly the ones who have been following Kael'thas in Outland. Which, yeah. Which means these are also Blood Elves who are following the Burning Legion. Yeah. This becomes, evident when we get to Keldanis, with all the stuff going on with the Burning Legion and the Sunwell. So, just want to make that distinction very, very clear. Just heal myself up. You see what I mean? Right there? You just tag them all with Shadow Word, Pain, Smite, and if you lose some health, you just do Flash Heal, and you're all good to go. It's so great. So much fun.
Glory to the Sindorai.
I've actually set it up. I even changed some of my my other characters. So the ones you saw in the starting, in the intro video, I've changed a couple around because I decided I want to try and show off at least each of the classes in this series, which of course without without the exception of the Death Knight and the Demon Hunter, as I explained. But we'll be seeing a warrior, we'll be seeing a monk, we'll be seeing a hunter, we'll be seeing a druid a few times, So I'll try and be showing off as many if not all the classes as I can.
Good fortune.
These Blood Elves mean to kill us all. How are we to divert them from this course? I have a plan. We must kill their leader. Without their master, perhaps they will retreat to regroup. We just need to buy time until the repairs are completed. Then Vindicator Aldar must know of this. Kill the Surveyor, and then return and tell him what we have found.
Remember the lessons of the past.
So, I wonder if there are any players up here waiting to do this. Because this is going to be one of those situations, if there were a lot of people here in the starting zone, you would be waiting to get a shot at killing this guy. Now, there are no other players here, so... Surveyor Canvas. These plans seem important. You should take them to Vindicator Aldar at the crash site. Okay. This is part of the reason why I wanted to do the Blood Elf zone first, so I could try and help make that distinction. Yeah, I knew that player was AFK. So I can make that distinction between the Silvermoon Blood Elves and the Burning Legion Blood Elves, as I guess I could call them, since that's what they're basically doing. Because remember, at this point, Kael'thas has already betrayed Illidan to kill Jaden. Which means that rather than these Blood Elves working for Illidan, they are actually working for Kill Jaden and the Burning Legion. And they pretty much are not with the Silvermoon Blood Elves at all.
Arkenan Poros.
I thank you for dealing with the Blood Elf Surveyor. Surely she was their leader. Rest assured, we will deal with whatever remnant of them is still nearby. Please, take one of these weapons as a sign of my gratitude. What have you got there? Here, let me read those plans. The Blood Elves have followed us here? They are evil to the core and should be wiped from existence.
The Vindicator takes a moment to regain his composure.
I apologize. That was uncalled for. We are indebted to you for uncovering this information, Miala. Miala, while you were out investigating the Shadow Ridge, Zana has been going on about the holographic emitter. You might want to speak with her.
Good health.
I will do that, but let me go let the botanist know I've healed the leg first. Once I get going with this voice, it's a little, it's a little hard to stop. And that will become, very clear in other zones, especially when we get to the Wandering Isle.
Greetings, friend.
From what you described, the neutralizing agent worked. I just wish that I knew how long it will last. We really need to remove that power crystal from the lake entirely. Thank you, Miala. I will tell Teden to try the neutralizing agent on one of the captured beasts at once.
Gayanis Aka.
Tedon, go ahead and try the neutralizing agent on the mutated creature. Looks like it's time to let you out of this cage. Now, to put the neutralizing agent on. Success! So now they'll be able to spread all those agents to all those things over there, because those things used to be animals like little bunny rabbits. But again, what I love is that they are truly and genuinely, invested in trying to take care of and fix all these things that they feel responsible for because of the crash.
One wishes to you.
I got it! I think I managed to fix the emitter. Here, I'll just activate this last crystal, and that should do it. Take a look at the emitter. It looks like it's beginning to work. Someone is appearing. By the 7 Atalma crystals, others have survived the crash. Zana, is that you? It is so good to see you again. Oh, I was waiting for more dialogue. Oh, and who do we have here? No doubt they made this communication possible. I give you greetings from Azure Watch. Judging by your signal, we put you southeast of the larger part of the island we crashed onto. Cross the Crystal Brook River to get... Sorry, there's a lot of stuff. By all that is good, Miala. You must go at once to this Azure Watch. Oh, this is great news. Your efforts have indeed saved us, Miala. And speak with Daivoon. There is a path that leads west off of this tiny isle. Follow it and cross the Crystal Brook River to arrive on the larger part of the isle. Continue to follow the path and you should find Azure Watch. See if you can convince them to send us some aid and supplies. The rest of us will follow when we can. Thank you. We would not have made it without you.
Seek the path of the light.
So I'm pretty sure it's over there. This pathway here. Huh. Oh no. Please don't tell me that. Please do not tell me that guy is here to kill quest NPCs because he wants to be a jerk. You think I'm kidding? That's a real thing. I should know. I experienced it just the other day. I was leveling my Mag'har Orc in the Northern Barrens, and there was a max level Alliance player just killing everything, including the quest NPCs. I could not tell you how upset, how angry this was making me.
Priest, a couple mutated beasts jumped me and my leg is injured. I was sent on a scouting mission from the Azure Watch after we received word from Zanna. Please, could you go to speak with caregiver Kellen in my stead? She needs to know how many people to expect in Azure Watch. Just cross the Crystal River here and continue following the road until you get to Azure Watch. Be sure to ask her for a place for yourself to stay in.
Be well.
I am very curious. I know we're supposed to continue, but I'm very, very curious about that player I just saw. I'm noticing a number of Guardians here, and I'm wondering if they're here because of that player. Because if that player is really doing that, I just want to kind of show it off on camera, what these people are like. So let me see if I can actually spot him, if he has actually gone over to the starting area. I don't see him, and these NPCs are still up, so if he didn't come here to just, you know, kill NPCs and such, then why would he even be here? Unless he is doing a thing where he clears up the map to get, like, the exploration achievement, but it just seems so odd that I would actually see just some random Horde player. And you notice they didn't show me what his level is. That's something that they kind of do, for whatever reason, to just mask whatever the level of the other, you know, the player on the other faction is. I guess to not let you know if it's a max level player, but that's usually ends up being the case, because one of the reasons why you would be at max level is because all the NPCs and such are raised to max level automatically. I know this based on past experience when I was doing the stuff to get all the class hall mounts in Legion, and I got to my rogue, and my rogue was not max level, so I went to the Exodar, because my max level rogue is on Horde, and I was getting instantly detected and killed by the guards there because they were 120 and I wasn't. So once I got my rogue to max level, then I was able to actually sneak through and not be instantly detected by the guards and actually pull off the quest. And, you know, the guards, of course, were 120. However, the NPCs you had to kill in those quests as a rogue were not. So it made it very easy. But it was just one of those, like, oh my gosh, having to deal with all those guards. Getting to 120 to deal with it, so I can finally get that mount.
I have found that these waters are bustling with red snapper, a very tasty fish. With a fishing net, I can catch enough to feed dozens of Draenei. Unfortunately, I was recently attacked by a creature known as a murloc while netting in the river, and have suffered some injuries that prevent me from doing my job. I need help. Use this fishing net near schools of red snapper found in the Crystal River to the east to catch the fish. What do you say? Remember to return the net when you are finished.
Safe journey.
Well, you know, I'll help you with that later, but for now, I have a couple of other priorities. Oops. So there's the Exodar in the distance. You notice we're still, kind coming across multitudes of just broken pieces, debris, and mana crystals from the crash. Which just kind of exemplifies what we were just experiencing in that initial tutorial zone. Gotta get the Flight Master. Remember, there's no flying allowed in this zone to this day. No matter what, you still cannot fly in these zones.
May the light embrace you.
So this is the guy we saw over the projection there.
Ah, good to see you again. I am glad that we were both able to get our emitters fixed, or we might not have found one another. And don't worry, we will see to it that Amenvale gets help and supplies. So speaking of assistance, now that you're here, go around and introduce yourself to the others. I know there's plenty to do.
May your days be long, and your hardships few.
Here's the innkeeper.
All prices here are reasonable.
Oh, you must be one of the survivors that we have been hearing about. I'm glad that you came. Don't worry, we will send someone to see to Eowyn's injured leg. I am most interested in hearing all about your harrowing story of survival. You're a brave one to have made it all the way here. I'll go with the water for the mana. After all, we're a priest. Mana's so important. Welcome to Azure Watch, priest. Please excuse the disorder that you see around you. It is easy to take simple things so for granted, like a fully furnished and stocked inn, until you are forced to build one from nothing. We have managed to salvage this pod for a building, but without the proper furnishings and first aid supplies, the inn is little more than a glorified tent. Nerguni at the Exodar has offered to put together a package to help with our most immediate needs, but I need someone to deliver this list to him. And that's our quest to... Let's go and make this in our home. That is our quest to go to the Exodar. I'm going to put my hearthstone there. But of course we will go around and pick up other quests before we do that. Before I head on over to show you the Exodar.
Greetings, friend.
This is funny because bandage trainers used to be a thing. First aid was a thing. You can't learn first aid in this game anymore. So even though this option's here, you can see here, you really can't learn it anymore. I mean, it's not really an option. At least as far as I know, it's not anymore. Because you can be able to learn cooking, fishing, and archaeology, and then a couple of other professions. But as far as I know, you can't really do first aid anymore. There's not really much reason to anyway.
Open your heart to the light.
I have found that lashes milling about on the island hold restorative medicinal properties in their vines. Through proper treatment, the vines can be broken down into a powerful healing ointment. Unfortunately, with so many injured Draenei passing through Azure Watch, we are always in short supply. Our delicate guest was found injured and unconscious by the Crystal Brook only yesterday. If you bring me vines, we may be able to save her. You will find route trappers, both south and east of Azure Watch.
Favor the road traveled by few.
Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering why I chose to have my Draenei be a female instead of a male, I've never liked these male models. I'm sorry, I don't like their models or their animations. It's just too big, too bulky, too weird. I think they really did a good job with the female models and the animations. Like, you know, the running animation here just looks really good and natural compared to the big one, which is just big and bulky. It doesn't work for me. Have you found any pudding if you don't eat your fish? Now to apply the ointment to her wounds. It appears that the ointment is ineffective. Such a pity. There must be a solution. Come here, Ivor. I will explain what I need.
Warm wishes to you.
You are starting to make a name for yourself, Miala. How about trying your hand at hunting? Back on Draenor, our greatest hunters would hunt a beast that resembled the moon-grey stag of this region, known as a talbuk. If you think yourself Draenei enough, go out into the wilds and kill enough stags to fill your pack with meat. You will find them grazing south of Azure Watch. Watch out for their horns.
Dionys Aka.
The Naru have not forgotten us.
I think I have cracked it, Miala. All that we need to know about the Steel Pine Furbog language is imprinted on their totems. With just a rudimentary understanding of how their symbols work, we can study the totems and learn to communicate with the furbolgs. I have written down the basics of the symbol matrix on this parchment. Study it, and then examine the totem. It should lead you to the next language totem. Speak to Arugo when you return an educated Draenei.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
I like that. That's one of those quotes that the Draenei have that I really like. Be kind to those less fortunate. It's another reason why I like the Pandaren, and I'll go over that when we get there.
Warm wishes to you.
In the fevered dreams of our injured guest, she spoke of a fisherman, Cowlin, who was in some distress at Silver Mist Isle to the southwest off the coast of Azure Mist. With all that has been happening, no one has had the opportunity to look into it. But I do feel a bit of worry. Perhaps there's something that you can do, Miala?
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Alright. Zaldan, would you care to send me to the Exodar?
Each day is a blessing.
So you need to go to the Exodar? Well, that's going to be a bit of a trip, but don't worry, I have a way to get you there very quickly. For a small fee, you can rent one of my hippogriffs to fly to the Exodar. Taking the hippogriff is a faster, not to mention safer alternative for someone who is getting an important message. If you would like to take a ride, speak to me again, and I'll make the arrangements.
Be kind to those less fortunate.
Alright. To the Exodar.
Ionis.
And again, that right there is the Exodar. The ship that we crash landed here on. It was even more funny when the Burning Legion showed that they were using spaceships as well. See, that's partly what I was referring to, how the whole thing with science fiction and all that, the technology and space travel and spaceships, that was in the setting before. It just had not been really shown up until Burning Crusade. But the fact that then we found out the Burning Legion also uses spaceships, and, travels through space and dimensions, it was like, oh, okay, so it's been here a long time. We just didn't really know that. So right off the bat, here's the Quartermaster. So if you wanted to get a tabard to increase your reputation with the Exodar and represent that, there you go.
Blessings upon your family.
Toss that on. For the Exodar. For the Draenei. So this is the Exodar. Hardly any players ever come here. Compared to cities, let's think about the cities in the Alliance. And no, I don't mean Nurmagomedon. No, sadly, no, that's not a thing. Hey, a Pandaren. A max level. See, this is one of the rare max level characters that actually comes here. But do you know one of the only reasons why you'll see a max level Alliance character here in the Exodar is because they're trying to get somewhere in Kalimdor. Because really there's, especially at max level, there's only 2 places you can really quickly go to. Actually, there's 3. There's the Exodar, there's Teldrassil, yeah, not anymore at max level unless you do the thing at Darkshore where you change it back. Or you go to the Caverns of Time. That's pretty much it. Because, of course, most of the places that you go to and, for Alliance are in the Eastern Kingdoms. So. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wanting me to, perhaps show stuff off here, Villain, well, we'll get to that.
Browse it.
We'll actually get to, he'll actually come meet us later on.
Greetings, friend. You look like that you have come a long way. How can I help you? Oh, so you have brought Shellen's list. Excellent. I was hoping to receive this today. Let us see what she needs. There we go. That is most of what she has requested. The pieces for the beds are simply too large to be delivered by hippogriff, but I will make arrangements to have them sent by wagon. Here is the box, Miala. That should be enough for Shellen to get to the inn up and running. Let her know that she can keep sending in orders as the need arises. Azure Watch urgently needs a place to care for the wounded and put up any travelers that they receive. When you're ready to return to Azure Watch, seek out Stephanos near the seat of the Naru in the Exodar.
Good health. Long life.
AKA go back to the Flight Master and fly back over there. So in case you're curious about, well, where is Velen located here in the Exar? He's actually over here in the Vault of the Lights. Which, does that... I mean, are you really surprised by that? But if you have done the stuff in Legion, you will instantly recognize this place. As this is mainly the area where he has the barrier, trying to protect members of the Draenei from the Legion invading the Exodar. Because of course they would. You also have various different things here, because again, it's very hard to talk about the history of the Draenei as a people without bringing up their history with the Burning Legion. And you just see numerous ones of these. Look at this.
Greetings,
and here's the
friend.
archaeology trainer, by the way. But I mean, you see all the different kinds of members of the Burning Legion here. Here are the Dreadlords. Here's an Eridar, basically looking like Archimonde, because of course he would look like Archimonde. There's one of those Pit Lords. And here's one of those, Fell Reavers? Though that's a very different looking Fell Reaver, but, you know, the Fell Reavers that you see on Outland, basically. And there he is, right up here. I like how some of the personal guards up here are called the Shield of Velen. And here he is. Hello, Velen.
Will you join our cause?
As we attempt to gain the help of the peoples of this world against the Burning Legion, we must also learn to live peaceably amongst them. Please keep this in mind as your journey takes you throughout Azeroth. May the light guide you.
Not all who wander are lost.
I know his voice line there sounds different from the voice that I just did, but I much rather prefer the voice that he had in Legion. And that's basically the voice I always do. And I really liked the job that the voice actor for Velen did throughout Legion. I think he did a fantastic job. Velen got such a strong focus, and I think it was about time. And I just love the growth that he had as a character through that expansion. Starting, of course, here in the Exodar event, where Rakish was revealed to be his son. Like, basically just as he was dying in Velen's arms. Which just made that so heartbreaking. And that's basically what changed Velen's mindset from that point on, where he's like, you know what, that's it, I'm done, we're heading back to Argus, and we're going to finish this once and for all. Where are you headed? So you are headed back to Azure Watch with this package? Well, no problem at all. Please, just speak with me again, and we will get you on your way with those supplies. If I remember correctly, Azure Watch's Hippogriff Master is Zaldin. If you have spoken to him before, then you can take one of my hippogriffs to him. And that is a good lesson to know. Hippogriffs are always trained to fly to their capital city, but they will only take you to a remote Hippogriff Master after you have already been there. Since you arrived on one of Zaldin's hippogriffs, you can also use that route to return to Azure Watch with the caregiver supplies.
May your days
It's
be
basically
long,
another way to
hardships
kind of teach you how the flight
well.
masters work. Again, this was Burning Crusade, so you could, you know, a lot of people did not play vanilla, but they did start in Burning Crusade, which is understandable. Like, with the amount of time that WoW had been out, when the announcement of an expansion like Burning Crusade caught everyone's attention, it was like, oh man, this sounds great, this sounds awesome. Lots of people were super hyped for the release of Burning Crusade.
I hope you find something useful.
Tell the caregiver that she's making arrangements. Oh, splendid. Now I'll finally be able to set up some beds and a first aid station so that we can better treat the wounded and any survivors that we encounter. I cannot thank you enough for your help. You have my thanks and that of the Azure Watch's Vindicators.
May your days be long and your hardships few.
Alright, so we have quite a bit to do. We even have one way down over here, the Missing Fisherman. So we'll begin to work on this when we come back. Stay tuned.